That heifer right there just don't even care. Action.
Hey, y'all.
Button, don't start the show off like that. Hope everybody having a fine Sunday evening. Trying to quieten the home place down here, but
Getting crazy.
nobody wants to listen, and we'll get into that later. Don't y'all worry. She knows where I'm going with that.
Oh, the eye rolls are going to be earth shattering this evening.
Hey, don't blame me. That's all I can say. But we're gonna get there. So I hope everybody having a fine Sunday evening. Been pretty nice around here, I reckon. That humidity's cranking on up. Morning's still been nice though. Go out and it's cool, I reckon.
It's nice.
Yeah. High 50s, low 60s, this and that in the mornings. Wait. Talking about Paul all the day. It won't be long. And we'll be into the typical South Alabama weather here before too long. Well, really, all of us down here on the coast, I guess.
What?
The good old humidity coming off the Gulf of America.
Yeah. It's just that time of year. Our favorite Miss Leona's in
Yeah, get a little everybody moseying on in. Mr. Roy, I was going to say too, yeah. I know some of y'all get some bad weather out in them plains and this and that, so.
Oh, you speaking our language, Mr. Dan.
Where are we going?
He has a container of Pennsylvania liquid maple gold to send this week.
My friend.
Biscuits.
Yes, sir. Send that puppy on whenever they get ripe and ready. I think, are we done with Phil's?
Yeah.
Well, hey, that'll work out just right.
Close to it. Well, there's Phil.
Because about,
Speaking of it,
is he in here?
he just came in.
Oh. Well, it was about a month ago, I guess, you did pancakes and
For supper.
all that for supper. Yeah. And we saturated, I guess that's whenever we burned up the last little bit of the maple syrup that Phil sent us.
They say I'm glad to hear that.
Okay.
I know, I watched your video this morning. I was like, oh boy. No, you didn't do anything, Phil. We were just speaking of you. We was talking about maple syrup.
Yeah.
We've been working on your bottle.
You can't get in trouble on this channel. So, hey, you're good.
We
Toot
love
your
you,
horn,
Phil.
the whole everything.
But DC said his mama's better. It was not a heart attack. It was a side effect, the treatment side effect of muscle inflammation, but they're going to keep her in the hospital.
Well, good deal. Louisville should be home soon. And
I'm glad it wasn't something major with her heart. I'm really happy to hear that.
yes. But we're still going to continue praying.
Oh, absolutely.
Her and everybody else on the prayer list here. I think you went.
Absolutely.
If I ain't mistaken, you kind of
straighten it up a little bit.
Good.
We've had so many add-ons and takeaways lately. I couldn't tell which line I had marked through and what I had, so I rewrote it today.
And if we don't mention the name, let us know.
Yes.
Just in case she just accidentally did something.
Pulled a Hannah. It's me again, Joey.
Well, while Phil's in here, and we're talking about tooting the horn. I don't know if any of y'all seen it, this and that, but I'll put it up next to the camera up. Yeah, I apologize. But
Yeah.
that was pretty cool, that old timey train. And I imagine that was awesome being able to take a ride on it on top of you yourself working on trains, this and that.
Mhm.
So I was thinking to myself, man, you know how cool that would be if the old M&O was still open and
Oh my God.
take a ride from
You could
downtown.
go.
Yep. Now, I will say, whenever I was a young buck, they shut down the M&O Railroad. My mama took me to a little old small town down the road down here, but right at Shelton Beach and Rebel Road.
Mhm.
The tracks used to come across right there. And Mama's got pictures of one of the last.
She said that was the real Polar Express.
Oh yeah.
But the last run that train made, wasn't it?
Well, one of the last runs a train made, but one of the last runs on the M&O, as far as a steam engine train.
Mhm.
But she's got pictures of it coming down through there. My mama, you just have to know her with a camera back then, but got more pictures of a finger in the way than anything. But
She tries.
yeah, pretty cool. Appreciate you showing it or sharing that with everybody, Phil. Thought that was interesting.
Mhm. Well, DC is killing it on the swarms this year for his area.
Well, watching his video yesterday, it seemed like he was kind of surprised walking down
Yeah.
in the back.
On the porch.
Well, this one was in a tree. I think he would be bopping
Oh,
down through there,
yeah.
doing his thing, and he's kind of like, "Oh, hey,"
Yeah.
but yeah,
He said this is number 5 moved in under the bed.
glad to
That's
hear.
awesome.
Swarm season kicking off, just beginning for many of y'all. It's kind of died off around here, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
Along with any kind of flow,
Yeah.
it just
Nothing is blooming.
Nope.
Absolutely nothing. We were doing good for a minute there, but now it's just nothing. I hope the tallow comes through.
Well, that I don't know if it has something to do with because usually this time of year we're already blistering hot. The humidity's outrageous, and we're already fussing about like really fussing. It's hot already, kind of thing. But yet we got some kind of flow. But it's trickling in. I will say this morning, went up to the local field station up here to get us some biscuit for the morning. Whenever I left out, it was about 7:30. I left out, and I heard a hum of bees, and I was thinking to myself, "Ain't no way somebody's swarming this doggone early." Well, went to the store, come back. Whenever I got out of the truck, I could hear the hum still, but I got to looking. There was a few honeybees in the mix. Like I said, it's still early, but there was a bunch of bumblebees pulling the honeydew off the oak leaves. It was just, you could hear the hum. It wasn't quite as loud as a swarm, but it had that intensity as far as sound to it. But I don't know. We're going, Lord willing, things will crank on up around here before too long. But let me run through holler at everybody right fast and we'll get into where we're going. Prayer list next and where we're going to go.
Heaven only knows.
Ain't no telling with this bunch.
Never is.
What that little kid say on the insect commercial? So saddle up, cowboy. What was it? One of them pest control commercials.
Here's my friend Sarah.
Hallelujah be for Pastor Larry, Miss Jan, Miss Leona. If y'all didn't catch Pastor Larry's message this morning, I encourage you to do so. Then Cheryl, good to see you. Chris, good to see you, man. Mr. Russell Amon, hope you're doing well over there in Southwest Mississippi. Keep filming and Miss Michelle up there in that fine country. And I told Hannah the other day, we were talking about y'all, your ears were probably ringing. I told her, I said, if we had the tulip poplar that man has around his house,
I'd be fat from eating honey all the time. That's what would happen.
yes, we would be able to bring in hundreds of gallons of this and that. But I think there's only about 4 tulip poplar left in the county up here, so I don't know.
Few far between.
But now if you go to Mississippi towards Waynesboro, there's a state park up there, Clarko State Park, that we go to.
It's real close to Quitman, Mississippi.
But I'm telling you, that old state park up there is full of tulip poplar.
There's huge tulip poplar trees in that park. They're beautiful.
A lot of that anise, the star of anise, grows out there quite a bit. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff up there, but
Oh no. Country Road said their tulip poplar got murdered by the frost this year. That sucks.
Yeah, because that's the main run for a lot of folks.
Hello, Sarah. I figured you had the grandbabies. I was thinking you were going to be in bed by the time we went on tonight. You was up early this morning.
Mr. Russell Amon, got you there.
And Miss Brenda.
And Miss Brenda, yep.
Don't be leaving the ladies out.
No, ma'am. Some of y'all may get upset with me a little bit, but I love y'all. You know what I mean? Mr. Dan Weaver, good to see you, Captain. Mike Tanway. Eric, good to see you, brother. Mr. Bill Lee, good to see you, Captain. Collector Rick, good to see you, Captain. Uh-oh. Went too far.
You just timed out Chris.
Yeah. My bad. Let's see if we can get you back, Chris. That's me holding buttons
You hit
now.
the wrong button.
Starting already. We'll get you on timed out. How many seconds did it time him out? Okay.
Chris, try to put something in the chat and see if you can talk.
Yeah. We think we got you back. Where was I at here? Eric, Mike Tangway, Collector Rick, DC, 33-mile field there. Mr. Roy. Did I say Mr. Roy?
I don't know.
If not, hey again, Mr. Roy. Who else? You say Joey's in here somewhere? Trying to find him. Country Roads, appreciate you being back. Block Farm, April, appreciate you. Brian and Jen, Miss Sarah. Hope you're enjoying your mic light up there. Yeah. If I missed you, I apologize. I'm pushing buttons and I don't want to lock anybody out again. Kind of thing. But we appreciate everybody being here this evening.
I told you Miss Brenda was watching too.
She fussing at me?
She's not fussing at you. I don't think that fixed Chris because he hadn't said anything.
Well, hold on, let me go. Unhide user on this channel.
Okay. Chris, now try to put something in the chat and see if that worked. I don't know.
Yeah, any on this wave this little bad weather? Okay. All right, we got you. Yeah, hopefully nobody gets in a bind, but
maybe buttons will quit pushing buttons.
I'm done with it right now. So, where have we been?
All over the place.
We have been all over the place. Probably going.
Somebody sung a song that said that.
I've
been everywhere.
I'm John Cash.
It was John Cash.
I'll sing that at the end for everybody.
I love that song, man. I wonder how long it took you to remember the lyrics to that song.
Probably about 15 minutes.
Oh, no.
It takes long.
That was a whole lot of pounds.
But, where are we at?
I don't know.
I was going to say something about these. I'm trying to put all my words together.
Joey don't like dead air.
That's right, Joey. I apologize. Anyway, we're trying to get in. I would really like, and we'll just kind of hit on this for a minute, but I'm really trying to get out of the construction work.
Words are hard.
They are hard. Yes, they are, Eric. But I'm about that far from being burnt out completely on construction. I'm just 20 plus years doing this mess and busting our tails, me and her the last 16 years. And we're really trying to merge over into getting into these cutouts where we're only working a day or two and making an okay paycheck and try to line out 2 or 3 jobs during the week, this and that. And I need to make a Facebook post for our local people, but so many of our friends and family have been hitting us up on Facebook and passing our numbers along. And the other day we got a call from a pest control company. We forgot we even called and told them about us last year. And we've had several bites, I guess, at us coming to look at cutouts and doing this and that. But the hardest thing so far that I'm figuring out about these cutouts, because I've been back and forth. I talked to Randy, the dirt rooster, a little bit about different things, and he helps us out a great deal as far as, look, if it was me, I would, okay. And
he gives a lot of good advice.
Yes, and going to Rodney Middleton as well. So I've been kind of back and forth between Rodney and Dirt Rooster on different things, and oftentimes I'll call them on the same job, if you will, and send them pictures and say, hey, this is what we got. What you reckon? Well, they'll give their opinion, and oftentimes, even though they're separated by, or we're all separated probably about 8 or 10 hours worth of driving, pretty doggone close on, this is what I do. Here's a rough estimate that I would pitch, and so on and so forth. But we're beginning to find out very quickly that getting people to understand that there's a lot of work that actually goes into these doggone cutouts that people really ain't realizing. They're thinking, oh, just go in and get some bees and take them out. And you're gone in 30 minutes kind of thing. And having to, I guess we're becoming to a point of talking to people that it's just like we're repeating the same thing of, look, I'll give you an example of the one we did last week or a couple of weeks ago. And we're telling them, look, we was in a home. We got everything we need to do these cutouts, this and that. And even with the equipment that you have, there's nothing fast you can do to hurry the process up. There's nothing quick.
It's the same thing we run into with women hiring us for a remodel project, and they've seen it on the DIY network, and it takes 45 minutes to gut and remodel a bathroom, and you got this beautiful, shiny, finished project. And they don't show none of the in between, like how you get there, kind of thing. It's the same scenario, I guess.
Yeah, the reality of it, that if you want something done right, yes, be steady in what you're doing. I have figured that out through the years. Be steady, consistent in what you're doing, and your name will make whoever you are. And we have made, I'd say, a great name for ourselves as far as construction customers, because we have such a repeat base where we can work for somebody in, May, and by the time May comes around again the following year, they're calling us back for whatever, or calling us in between. But we have enough customers that we've lined out these last 16 years, or 20 really, but to me and her.
Really good customer base.
Indeed, we have, and some great customers. Several of them are pretty well like family kind of thing. But we stay steady, and a lot of times, yes, we are very, very busy where it's just constant, nonstop going. But it's just
DC, it takes us about 2 to 2.5 hours, depending on traffic, to get over to Randy and Miss Elizabeth's.
yeah, it ain't a bad ride.
Mhm.
But we kind of dive into that a little bit more when we get done with the prayer list. Kind of a higher topic on top of
Yeah, that's a good idea too, Mike. But the local paint store and the local lumber yard has our info, and like they've referred us to several people and give our number out. So I'm sure they would call us if they heard anything, because they all know we do bees too. Yeah, we went around to all of the the pesticide companies like Orkin and Terminex and all of them we could find in Mobile. Went to all the police stations, like the dispatchers and stuff, and gave them all our info. So we spread the word about as much as we could. Yeah, we made posts on the Book of Faces, and we do the YouTube, and yeah, everybody knows us knows we do bees. So then people at the coffee shops figuring that out. They asked us for some honey the other day.
oh, yeah, at the coffee shop. What's mine? Hmm. Oh, oh, okay, my bad.
What she did.
Well, maybe she's calling saying, okay, my bad. She got to step away and make a phone call right fast, but she'll be right back. Uh, we're noticing like a heavier pickup on call volume with the B portion now instead of it. You know, we just say 2 years ago we may do one or two cutouts. Then last year we was getting more calls and we was doing some more cutouts. And this year the call volume, I'll say in the last 4 to 6 weeks, has picked up more than the last 2 years combined, kind of thing. And like this week we got 3 calls. Went out and looked at, gave estimates on 2, and we're waiting on a call back for 1 more, probably this week, on some stuff. But it's just like it's a new portion of something to get into to make some money. And if you got the skill of both trades, definitely an advantage, because you can go in, which I'm not wanting to do, but I will. But I can go in and sell both lines of, okay, look, I know how to get into your house without tearing it all, where and back. Plus, we can get the bees and clean everything up, take care of it, put everything back together for you, nice and neat. And if you want us to do the repairs, then absolutely I can do the repairs. But I try to throw more of a hitch out there without saying I'd rather not. But hey, if you got somebody that has been doing work for you for the last however many years, or if y'all can do the work, want to save a little bit of money, that's cool with me too. But we can definitely get the critters up out of here, out of the house for you. But I'm gonna really fix and try to put a 4 on that end and see how it goes. But I guess what I'm saying, I'm looking for a way out of the construction world. As far as being on a job 2 or 3 weeks or a month, this and that. But we're really trying to narrow our workload down, but try to maximize a better payment outcome, I reckon is what I'm trying to say. But, well, let's see what else. I'll draw about till she gets back in here. We get the prayer list going, and we'll get into some of the big journal and this and that. Well, DC, you're right, because like with a lot of our customers that we have that we've been with a long time. Now, of course not. If we were able to transition over more to these cutouts, make enough money to where we can make a decent living, I reckon. But we still have our customer base that I would absolutely be like, look, I'll be over there whenever you need me to, and still take care of you, kind of thing. But far as picking up newer customers or larger jobs, then, and I mean to the point of where it's going to take us more than a week or two working on jobs, especially during the summer months outside. For whatever reason, everybody wants to save their outside projects for the middle of summertime around here. And it's anywhere from the end of the June all the way into the end of August, pretty much all your dog days. They want a deck built, or they want to put an addition on back of the house, or, you know, a patio out. Anything to do with outside work. Seems like that's whenever folks want to do it. Now, if I want to eat, I have to get out there and go do the work. So come July and August, we're burned out just from being in the summer heat the whole time. And oftentimes it gets to the point, those times of the year, that we'll start working on a job as soon as we can get to daylight. And then just about 12, 1 o'clock, we packing up and we headed to the house, because ain't no way fixing to sit out here for the rest of the day and burn our tails up. And talking about starting early days in the summertime and or earlier mornings and working to about 1 o'clock and heading home.
You still on construction?
Well, I had to fill the dead air until you got back.
I'm sorry.
Make sure everything was all right.
I thought something was wrong with it. I'm sad. Tomorrow's our last day getting the kids.
So we got to get them tomorrow.
Yes.
That's okay.
We love doing cutouts, actually. I don't know, he might not love it as much as me, but I love doing cutouts.
I mean, I like doing the cutouts.
But it beats construction.
Yeah.
Oh, you be busy, Joey. That's awesome, though. So what I miss?
We're just yakking about.
We should only do. I hate kitchen remodels. That's right there with bathroom remodels. Them things always go squirrely.
Yep.
Nothing ever, ever, ever goes as planned. Ever.
I could do the kitchen remodels and be okay until you hear, can we paint these cabinets?
No, we don't do that.
Well, we can.
Golly.
But, but
yeah.
it don't matter what you do. Every job you do, whether you
It's like
doing
you
this
love
and
the
that.
people, but you hate redoing a bathroom. Mr. Martin Miller.
Hey, good to see
How
you, sir.
are you doing? It's really good to see you.
Get back now that you're in here.
Getting Keith. I know I'm late on it, but oh, he does every other woman in the world a dishwasher, Joey.
Well, they need them things fixed. So, y'all got the money.
Yeah.
We'll fix it. Just don't talk to my wife about having one while I'm here.
Uh-huh. He stopped bottling honey to ask that question.
Well, thank you, bro. Well, thank you.
My super talented husband did that, Okie.
Oh, thank
I
you,
helped
thank
him
you.
hold the boards up that he designed and did most of the work.
We there's a 3/4 red cedar,
Yeah.
which they've turned. They've been in here, I don't know, 6 years now, 7 years now.
Wow. We did it before
And
we started doing YouTube, didn't we?
yeah, I think so.
I think we did.
But we redone a garage area, I guess you want to call it, for a customer. Doggone carpenter bees got in and burrowed in their old cedar. And there was one portion of it he didn't want to do. And we had all this left over and was like, what you want? You want us to take it back or what? And he's like, just take it to the dump. I don't care.
Gotcha.
Yes, sir.
We can
Absolutely.
handle that.
So,
I love it. Because, like, y'all can't see it, but there's like a low chair rail, and we did, because we have dogs, so we did corrugated metal on the bottom underneath the wood planks. We wrapped some of the cabinets in it too, down low. It's definitely a rustic look to it, but we love it.
DC, this fella, he just, how can I put this without sounding too ugly? His sister and his daddy had just departed from their lives within a few months of each other, kind of thing. Both of them was sick, but known them. Hannah's known them longer. I knew them for many years as well. Then
Oh no, hold on. They gave me my very first job. They own the little grocery store in town.
the whole family very wealthy. Their daddy was very much wealthy, but
You'd never know it talking to that man. He
no,
was one of the kindest, most humble Christian men I ever knew.
indeed he was.
He taught Sunday school at our church for years and years. He was a very biblically wise man.
Yes. And like she said, you would never have known if you met him on the street he was worth what he was worth.
No, not at all.
But unfortunately, sometimes kids, which was one of his sons, when they both departed, he decided to sell his sister's house and his daddy's house and all the land they had out there. And they had a beautiful patch of land where they all lived there. And it just, it wasn't like working for the old man, working for the son. It was just,
No.
he literally told us, y'all keep things as cheap as you can because I don't want to cut into my inheritance. And I just looked at him and was like, okay, I'll do that.
But the kicker was he was the real estate agent handling the sale, so he got the commission and the inheritance off of it.
Yeah. But anyhow, that's where all that old cedar come from. And one of these days, I'd love to be able to finish the rest of these walls and stuff like that in it. Because I butted everything tight, and throughout the years, it's dried and it's kind of created a little bit of void. And that old, there's kind of like a earth tone color to the wall back behind it. And whenever them gaps started showing, you could see just a little bit of that earth tone, which really made everything
worked
pop.
out to me, though. I like it. We got 2 walls done. We got 1 left to do. It's a work in progress.
Indeed. All right, since you're back, let's do the prayer list and we'll get where we're going to go with things.
You made me lose my place.
Well, I popped
I had it marked. So, like I said, y'all, please let me know if I left somebody off that needs to be on here. All right, we got Mr. Martin, Miss Crystal, Mr. Pat, Miss Deb, Mike Tangway and his family, DC's mama, Philip's mama, his friends BJ and his wife, our favorite Miss Leona, Steve Amos's father-in-law, PJ Hanley, Sarah and her family, Mr. Randy's mother-in-law, Miss Janae Wood, Kenneth and Chris Wilkinson, Redfish's wife, Miss Janet, Kenneth Allen, Rodney and his family, Dan Garrison's daughter, Keith Larimer's cousin, Mr. Russell Amon's wife, Brenda, Lee's mama, Miss Brenda Johnson, Keith Barnhill and his family, little Emma Hoskins, Greg Dunn, Bill Kent's mama, Mr. Russell Koopman's granddaughter, Tim's brother Jamie, Mr. Dan and his church, Shaw Wee, Jen's dad, Gary Stewart, Castle Heights Brian and his family, Blaine's great nephew, Haley Baker, Lee's cousin Stephanie, all our nation's service members, Shauna and her family, James Knoll, Keith Larimer's mama, my brother Jacob, James Pell, Justin Jenkins, Bucks B's wife, Allie Baker, Marty from Yes Honey, baby Luca's parents, Zach and Kiera. Mr. Dan, do you know how they're doing by chance? Let's see. Lee's wife, Miss Renee, DC's friend Bree and her daughter Ivy, Jason, his family, Russell Amon's cousin Ricky, Clay's daughter Allie, Jack and Danae, Tom Mack and his family, Dennis Cheryl's stepdad, and then Sarah asked us to add Bobby's bees. She said a bear destroyed a lot of his hives and got his dog not long ago. So we added him on there.
I'm gonna get back on. Well, I got to going through emails the other day since I ain't been in them in a little bit. And whenever you said Justin, it reminded me of Justin Sims with Accessible Beekeeping. And for the ones that we've had Justin on a couple of times, but anybody that don't, just a quick overview. Justin Sims with Accessible Beekeeping. Some years back, he started working with AI and building a program, app, if you will, that helps people with disabilities, sight, hearing, impairments, things like that, or just mobility disabilities, so on and so forth. But Justin is a huge help to folks that want to beekeep and that may have, I say, more on the higher end, like sight and hearing disabilities kind of thing, to where they can enjoy beekeeping. But I got an email from him not long ago. Well, it was last month, to be honest with you. But it just shows you how long it's been since I really checked these emails. But he sent the message last month, and he said that his website says, new digital companion for the apiary. Innovation meets tradition. Be My Hive Inspector is here. He said, we're thrilled to announce the launch of our most ambitious project yet, designed with accessibility at its core. Be My Hive Inspector empowers beekeepers of all abilities to monitor, manage, and care for their colonies without unprecedented ease. He said, now available and coming soon, our mission is to ensure every beekeeper has the tool they need and the device they prefer. We're currently rolling out support across major platforms. Be My Inspector, and so far, the Windows version, the full desktop experience is live. download it today directly from the Microsoft Store. Then it is in iOS beta testing. Help us refine the experience. Reach out, join the community of early testers on ISO, and later coming in 2026, Android and Mac OS editions. I'm not a computer person, so y'all forgive me if I'm wrong on the Mac part.
Well, you ain't here to translate for us.
He says we're working hard to bring the same accessible experience to your tablets and Macs by late autumn. So,
That's awesome.
if you have Windows and you'd like to check it out, he's got that. And if there's any of y'all out there that have, he needed pictures and videos of anything in beekeeping, brood, honey stores, more so on pests like the M's, the bees, the mites, the beetles, wax moth, anything to do with those pests. That way it helps him further train that AI to pinpoint potential issues within the colony. And this most definitely helps. I guess if there's a good thing about AI, this is a good tool.
Mm-hmm. He's done a lot of work on
Yeah, he's been working on this for a few years.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently it's got itself figured out enough to where he can get it on out there a little bit now. And so if you have pictures of mites, if you have pictures of beetles and beetle larvae and all that kind of stuff, shoot it to Justin at Accessible Beekeeping or email us and I'll get you the correct address if you want to send something to it.
2 things.
What?
Number 1, Mr. Russell Koopman just said we can take his grandbaby off the family. She got awesome report from the doctor. The cancer.
Well, awesome. Thank you, Lord.
That's awesome to hear. Number 2, Brian is doing espresso infused honey. Do what?
More coffee between Brian and Jen and Lee. I'm going to go
I
broke.
gotta try this espresso.
I'm going to go
infused
broke.
honey. That is insane. That just sounds really good.
Thank you, Brian.
You can put espresso infused honey in your coffee.
That's what you.
Whatever. What's the name of the app?
I have to go back on the email. See the name.
Put a bean in the center. I imagine there's a little more to it than that. Hang on. Let me pull the email back up. Be My Hive Inspector?
Yeah, Be My Hive Inspector should be it, Mike.
Yeah, I'll type it in so you can see.
I'll try and make all the emoji stuff go away to where you get it. But, if that ain't it, Mike, if you can't get to it, I'll get Justin to give me all the full information again on it, and which I talked to him for a few minutes the other day through. It was either email or no, it was text message, and I'll make a post and put all the links in a post on the Gunline community deal. Or
He found it.
awesome. But there you go.
That sounds good, Mr. Dan. He said he got a tiramisu waiting on him.
All right, Miss Sarah, y'all take care. Oh yeah, it's kind of, I forget some of y'all, which I know Sarah's not. I think we're on the same time, but it's
And
like
she's an hour ahead of us.
behind us.
No, it's almost 9 o'clock at her
Is
house.
she at Eastern time?
I know she's an hour ahead of her.
Well, she's got to be on Eastern.
Mhm.
But I keep forgetting that everybody, like some of y'all are like an hour behind, and some of y'all are an hour ahead.
DC's an hour earlier than
2.
2 hours earlier.
Yeah, Eastern, Central, Mountain, Pacific.
5:45. Yeah. Strawberry rhubarb jelly. That sounds kind of good.
It is jelly making season. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Especially pepper jelly.
You gonna let me order some espresso, honey?
Yep.
Yeah.
You make pepper jelly?
Change that tone real quick.
Call Brian and Jen and say, hey, where do I send the money to?
You get on their website and order it crazy.
Well,
It's really simple.
whatever. Hey,
He set it up. Idiot proof. That stopped him.
well, I'm thinking if I can just send him the money directly, he gets all his money.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put an order on his website.
Oh, whatever.
It's simple.
Well, we got to eat, DC, and everybody loves it.
Yeah. Mm.
But they do kind of veer off into the field of, oh, hey, that sounds good. Or I had this, then it just everybody falls in line,
Mm-hmm.
so on and so forth. Uh, let me see. All right, what did I have? I had something.
This is your view. I'm
Yeah.
just along for the ride.
I don't know. Do y'all want to hear some American Bee Journal? If not, I can go off on. How far are we in? It's on. Oh, an hour's passed by already.
Mm-hmm.
Almost. I found an article on the original Day Dant. Old man Day Dant, we call him.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds pretty interesting, but folks, if y'all don't want to fool with it, we won't have story time tonight.
DC said go for it. He loves it when you read these old ones.
Okay, I just needed one vote. Yeah. So here we go. Volume 1, number 14 of the volume 31, number 14 of American Bee Journal, and I believe it's, let me go back up here. I think it's 1893. I think. Yeah, April 6, 1893. But biography of Charles Day Dant. So this week, we are afforded the pleasure of presenting to our readers an autobiographical sketch and picture of Mr. Charles Day Dant, the senior member of the firm of Charles Day Dant and Sons of Hamilton, Illinois, the largest manufacturers of comb foundation in the world. Mr. Day Dant is too well and favorably known to the whole beekeeping world to require any extended introduction from us. Hence, we at once invite you to a. Give me a bigger picture. I can read it all at one run, but I have to scroll up and down. Reading of the following interesting account of myself. All right. Man says I was born on May 22nd.
That's my grandma's birthday.
What day is it? We're close. Happy birthday almost, Mr. Day Dant, even though you're gone. Said I was born on May 22nd, 1817, somewhere in a French village of Champagne near the confines of Burgundy. My father was a doctor of medicine. From the age of 6 to 17, I went to school living with my grandfather, who was a locksmith in the city of Langres. Thought they didn't even need lock back then.
Mm-mm.
Then I entered as a clerk in a wholesale dry goods store. And 10 years after I went into a partnership with one of the owners of the store, we began successfully. We had earned some money when the French Revolution of 1848 came, followed by the Republic, which was destroyed by Napoleon III and replaced by his emperor. For 6 years of trouble, and the insecurity lasted and determined us to quit the business. Then I succeeded to my father-in-law, who was a tanner, and bad luck continued to persecute me. The city of Langres, the ancient audio, what in the world?
Automatic.
There we go. Was several thousand years ago, was the capital of the people named and Linguins. Is situated on a high mountain which overlooks the vicinity nearly on every side. Caesar and other Roman emperors at the time when Rome Empire owned most of Western Europe fortified Langres with strong walls, which were so well constructed that they were solid yet after 2,000 years. These walls affording a protection to the inhabitants of the city was densely peopled, and its commerce was facilitated by a quantity of good roads laid with stones and cement and directed to every point of the compass. These Roman roads, as they were yet called, helped greatly the business of the city, which was very prosperous until the railroads came. Of course, the railroads refused to climb the high mountains and built their depot 2 miles away in the bottom of a deep valley. Then the city began to depopulate and its buildings lost 90% of their value. Compelled to go elsewhere to get a living, I resolved to come to the United States. It was 30 years ago. I came a poor man with a family, unable to understand a word of English. So the man didn't even know nothing about the English language. He said, load up, get your wife, get your kids. We're going to the new land. Well, he said I subscribed for a weekly paper and began to translate with the help of a pocket dictionary, but the greatest difficulty was the pronunciation. I was so soon able to write I was able to write so as to be understood, but my spoken English was not intelligible. The French language was very little accent, while the English has an accent on one syllable in each word. And the scholars themselves do not always agree with the syllable on which the accent ought to be placed. Then imagine the difficulty of a foreigner. A great many storekeepers were amazed to see me explain in writing what I wanted when they had been unable to understand my language. As I had already tried beekeeping for pleasure in France, I began here with 2 colonies. What I knew of bees had satisfied me that well-managed apiary would give enough profit to support a family, and the result provided that I was right. And the result proved that I was right. Soon after, I began to rear Italian queens, being able to understand the Italian language and having been elected by an honorary member of the Italian Society of Beekeepers. It was an easy matter for me to try the importance of bees, but the conditions indispensable to success were not yet known. So I lost some money in the undertaking. Then I went to Italy, but the trip was a failure. I had about resolved to quit the business of importing queens when I began experimenting, and I had to look this up. Florini, I guess, was the French word for like a florist. So he was trying to work at bees, but it really wasn't going. So he was looking at becoming a florist, more or less is what he's saying. And soon after all that, all the queens arrived. But the care of 400 colonies with the Cone Foundation business was then the beginning to give us my son and myself as much work as we were able to do. So we resolved to quit the importing business. We have since revised the book of our friend Langstroth and published a French edition, which had also been the honor of being translated into a Russian language. I'm now 76 years old and I have enjoyed so far good health thanks to care of my wife and of our children and grandchildren living with us. Mr. Charles Daydan. So it all started with him over here with two cones.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think so.
That's what he said. And it just grew from there. Pretty much, I guess, the wax foundation business is what really kicked his tail off on making some money on it.
Yeah.
And then they've grown to where it's more generational now, undoubtedly. The family business still be going. There's our class time for today. Where are we at in time?
Philip got ate up with chiggers.
Uh-oh.
Chicken swarm.
It's been a while since got any chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Thank goodness. If he keep that grass cut, I'm telling you, got to keep that grass cut out there.
They say he was down at the farm checking swarm traps, and he puts them all over the place.
Where at the farm place down there? Yeah. Oh. Well, we got a little stockpile of honey back there. It ain't very much at all, but enough to make a few dollars.
We actually sold some honey this year.
Yep. And you're going to make some honey butter for the gal at the coffee shop there. That'd be nice if you get that kind of going through their doors. Mm-hmm. Because we want to try. Y'all watch the Alligator People, Bruce Mitchell, Swamp People, but I enjoy, or she more so than me, but I'll look at his stuff too, because the man can cook some food, kind of thing. But one of his deals not too long ago, he was showing how to make homemade butter using heavy whipping cream.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can get that to work and make some good homemade butter, instead of buying something with a whole bunch of this and that in there, I think that'll give off a better taste as far as a honey butter.
Oh, yeah.
We can get all that down pat. But we talked about it a little the other day in the truck.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how it goes. Well, Philip, if you run out of sulfur, let me know. I have got a boulder outside.
Yeah.
And I'll send you whatever you need. You'll have to crush it yourself. But it ain't nothing but pure sulfur. A fella got for me when they was tearing down an old paper mill. He said it was in the stacks of that old paper mill. And I got me a big old, I don't know, that thing probably weighs 40 pounds out there.
Put your lights on that turkey.
It's been a long time since, but I was a boy the last time I went turkey hunting. I was with my uncle.
They don't really hunt much.
Not no more. And the reason why is because when I was in my late teens, I used to love going hunting. If I didn't kill nothing, I was good. If I killed something, even better, kind of thing. But I'm one of them that I just like being out in nature, so on and so forth. But got fixed up with a dude that owned I give it to him. this old place that he had for hunting, this hunting club was a nice place. And ironically, we ended up moving across the road from where it used to be. But I worked out there for 2 years with him. In my last year, that I just said, I'm done with him and I'm done, was all year and all the way up into deer season, I have been watching a fine 8 point coming in and out. He said, you go pick a spot a year where you want to hunt. And if you help me throughout the summer, you can hunt here during deer season for free. Deal. And he was paying me. So, done all that. Then they ended up getting this local TV celebrity hunter guy come in. Long story short of all of it. And we did this big hunt. We did a pheasant hunt. We did quail hunt that day. We did a duck hunt that day. And later on in the evening we're going to do a deer hunt. And he said he was going to send him to one end of the property, but he sent him to the very hunting house. I've been sitting and watching this buck for hunting forever, and I've been waiting to drop him. Well, he said, Tim, I'm going to send old Peanut, I'm going to send him down here to hunt your spot. All right. And I walked to the other end of the property down there, or drove down there, got into the other hunting house, and I'm thinking, Lord, please don't let that deer step out while that man's down there hunting. What, 45 minutes later, you just heard it echo through the woods, and I dropped my head.
He got
him. And sure enough, he got my deer. And after that, I said, I'll get one out the back door of the house here. Gets too bad, but I'm not investing the time or money for myself or anybody else to do that again. So I do hunt a little bit still, but it ain't like it used to be by any means. But I did try to hit a buddy up not too long ago. He got him a big old tom and tried to get him. I said, look, brother, I said, save a turkey feather for me. I want to get a couple of them tail feathers from you on the beekeeping end. And he said, well, this is going on the wall. I can't blame him on that because it was a good looking turkey. But he did say, next one I get, he said, I'll holler at you and you can come get all the tail feathers you want. Deal. I'll bring you some honey. Well, Philip, that fella that we got that sulfur from, that man, he puts it in his water. He puts it in his horse's water. He puts it in his dog water. What's that? What else that fella put that sulfur in? Just about everything.
every waterfall for animals out there, and he could just eat it. Like he could dirt.
He swears by it far as it helping his critters out. And I mean, don't get me wrong, he got a bunch of dogs and horses and what have you, but none of them look like they in a bind from it. What to say there, Blaine? Got it here just about right in time for us to go start derailing for too long. Yeah, DC, like I said, he swears by it, especially like he said, I don't have to buy a flea pill none for my dogs. And he said, when it comes to my horses, I don't even have to buy any spray to put on my horses to keep the doggone flies off of them. And he just gets after it with them. Philip, I'm not sure where you buy the boat, but I imagine there's somebody out there that if you couldn't get a Tractor Supply, a feed store, most likely be able to lead you in a good direction. I'm way behind. Let me get caught up here. But all right, let me put the link up. Any of y'all want to come in and y'all, we'll get after it. If not, we'll derail because I found out some scientific information that is just mind blowing the other day. Yep. Let me. Well, I imagine some of them get a kick out of it. Some probably. I know. I doubt anybody really, but there may be some that goes, Tim, I don't see how your wife puts up with you. But she knows me. Don't y'all fret. She gives me fits too. She's just real quiet behind the scenes about her.
What?
Well, what do you do? No, I'm not waiting on you. Well, as we started this beekeeping, yeah, Blaine got in here. The more years we kind of start floating along, the more we're gradually starting to see that a lot of people have them tucked off in the woods and not many know about where they are. It's kind of like, I guess, the way moonshining used to be, in a sense, in a lot of ways around here. Like some people know you beekeep, but you don't know where the operation's at, I guess. I guess there's still that secret society portion of.
Ask Phil if you're supposed to refrigerate maple syrup.
Phil? Phil, you still in here? 33-mile Phil? Or one of y'all in the North Country, Mr. Russell Cooper and Miss Sharon, if he ain't. Are you supposed to refrigerate maple syrup? Or it's one of those, it don't matter if you refrigerate it or not, kind of thing.
She's still not one way.
That's it, country. I guess that's a lot of it because, yeah, some people are starting to figure out more and more the value of how much a colony is or how much they can sell one for, kind of thing. So I get it. We're not, well, I mean, we don't broadcast exactly where ours are, but it's one of them. If you know us, then you pretty well know where they're at for the most part. But a lot of it I get, but you can tell it's that just hush hush. James, we tried to cut her loose. We took her out, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and figuring it's time. All the conditions are lining up. She'll be okay. So we took her little tail out there. I was in the process of putting her little house and her nesting into that box, and she just wouldn't go anywhere. I got her, put her on the tree. She flew over to Hannah, went and hid in her hair. I tried to get her out again, put her on the tree, and she just froze on the side of that tree. And same thing. She flew back on Hannah, run around a few more minutes, and got in her hair again and just more or less trying to hide, I guess. But so after about 30, 45 minutes of her obviously not wanting to take off, because I was thinking as soon as I put her tail on this tree, she's going to run and get gone. But it wasn't nothing like that. So we'll we're going to keep trying to work with her, see if we can get her used to the outside a little bit, and perhaps, hopefully, she'll venture on. But if not, if she's gotten to where it's obvious that she won't be able to take care of herself, then we're going to get her a bigger cage, I guess, to live in and let her live out her days, I reckon. Uh, we got out yesterday, walking around the yard, checking some things out. Hannah was telling me, she's like, I want to pick me a bouquet of flowers because we got all kind of different flowers and stuff like that's out here growing. And usually, last year we wasn't able to pick your bouquet in the yard, but most years I can go out there, or me and her will walk around, and whenever the gladiolas start blooming and all the roses and everybody all at one time, she can pick her a big bouquet of flowers that we've got here at the house, the Gerber daisies and everybody. Well, last year, nothing much bloomed. It was a drought more or less in the spring, so not too much went to blooming. And this year was kind of the same way in a lot of ways, but we had a little bit been able to bloom. But for the first year, we had some. What are those? Miss Loretta, Mr. Mike. They're a type of hydrangea, and if you caught the short we put out yesterday of the doppelganger bee, it's those particular flowers, that type of hydrangea. But uh, as we were going down there and she was wanting to pick her something, we got to looking on those hydrangeas and got to notice some different little pollinators on it. And this little old bee, she was not half the size of a honeybee, literally. She's probably a little bit smaller than half the size of a honeybee. And but we got to watching her, and she was going all through those little flowers that hadn't quite started blooming yet. You could tell she was pulling pollen off of it. Well, she's sticking them in her little side baskets on her legs, and we're like, yeah, she was loaded down. So it was like, well, what in the world kind of bee is this? She looked exactly like, I guess maybe kind of leaned toward a Russian or the black bees. You know how the real dark black bees, they'll be more predominantly black on their backside, but you can see a little thin line of some yellowing, this and that. But most of them, they're almost like a jet black on the backside, and pretty well what she looked like. But she was identical to a honeybee in every other way. So we got to looking at them and finally figured out what they were. And undoubtedly, DC got it. Yep, it was a sweat bee, exactly what it was. And I sat out there and watched that little old thing for, I don't know, until she loaded up and finally got up on out of there. But she worked her little tail just as hard as a honeybee, as far as what she had loaded on her legs to carry back to her little. I'm assuming they're a solitary bee, but for what she had to carry back to her little old nest, she had about a week's worth of groceries, what it looked like. But it was interesting to sit and watch them. But the DC saying they can bite, and we didn't fool with them or try to pick them up or touch them like that, but just sitting there watching them, it was basically just like watching a miniature honeybee run around on those flowers, which is pretty cool. I know the camera don't do it just as far as what's in the video, but y'all, I'm telling you, if you ain't never seen one, they're maybe as big as a fly. Little video things, but uh, pretty little thing. All right, Collector Rick said new pollinator bee discovered in crematories. I don't doubt it. Well, I mean, you got bees for all kind of other different things, but for the ones here we go. Y'all want to rant on something? Yeah. I didn't pay it too much attention, but Hannah read it off to me this morning, read the full article, but I just kind of grazed over it. But like I said, she read the full article and was like, are you for real? But old Charlie, he had put I don't know, a post on Facebook, and it was talking about the AIBs. And I think Charlie had put in there as far as his headline that, basically man needs to quit messing with Mother Nature. But undoubtedly, somebody's building a mechanical honeybee that's controlled by AI and is supposed to be better pollinators as honeybees, but yet you don't have to keep them in colonies or take care of them, anything like that. There's no honey production, there's no brood, none of this. It's just a bunch of mechanical bees that undoubtedly they're trying to work on getting out into the fields of doing big pollination, and undoubtedly wanting to cut back on having to drag out big colonies and worry about disease in the bees and so on and so forth. So I just thought to myself, here we go. But old dude, he thought it was, and he called himself a beekeeper the way it sounded in the article of, he been beekeeping, but now this is what he's trying to advance towards is this new mechanical AI bee to go out and do pollination now. Good point, Brian.
What?
He said robot bees will succumb to computer viruses.
Can't beat them all, can you?
No, especially if you know how to do the shut-off button on them things.
It said they were working with robotics to create the bees and using AI to teach the bees what to do. It freaked me out.
How about that, Dave would say?
Don't even get just because I made a fresh cup of coffee don't mean you got a free reign. I know, DC. I don't like anything about this AI stuff. Even people, I know, it ain't like it's something mortifying, but just even like people we know changing their profile pictures on the social media stuff, but using the AI, like it's just freaky.
Some of them folks be lying about what they look like on them. Because you're like,
it's really scary what that stuff can do to your appearance. It is petrifying.
well, I'll put it like this.
It just made me mad because that article kept going on calling them disposable bees. And all it was talking about was the revenue that bees bring in the food crops every year. And that was the only thing they were concerned about.
Well, they want to get part of that, what was it, $15 billion profit.
$15 million a year because bees is responsible for 1/3 of our food in this country. But there's literally just calling them disposable bees. I'm like, y'all, you missing the whole point of the honeybees.
Well, DC, me and her have had this conversation several times, but uh, you get worked up, or I'll just speak for myself. I see these things, and she tells me about stuff, or I read something or look at something.
Well, it's not
And
just that, it's more that there's no respect for the creator, much less the creation.
Well,
So,
exactly on that. But at the same time, when I get done with my fuss about like these people are idiots, just a bunch of morons running around this and that. You think you're something and you ain't. But I always step back at the end of whatever I'm carrying on about, and I do know in reality, as a believer of Christ, and the word that is written, or the words that are written in the book, he gives us a timeline. Okay. In the beginning, he done this, and then in the end, he's going to do this. I believe every word in between, front to back, of what God says he's going to do. And he does tell us, hey, these things are going to happen. This is what it's going to be.
mm-hmm.
And my comfort is,
He's already beat it.
yeah, he's already whooped it. But I guess the flesh part of me is like, how in the world can y'all even go there, even think of this, whenever the creator's already set everything into motion for us? But yeah, we have to try to improve upon the creation, which we can never do. We might think we're doing.
Perfectly.
Yes.
I mean, God don't make mistakes. You know what I mean? Everything was created exactly as it should be for a very specific reason.
That's it, Rick.
It
Indeed.
does, yeah.
We're definitely much closer than we were. The good Lord don't tell us, hey, I'll be here August 2nd, 2027. But he does tell us, I'm coming.
But as a believer, though, I mean, my gosh, don't that excite you? I mean, it does me. Just like one day closer, one day closer. He's coming soon, and he gonna get us all out of here.
But he's coming back for judgment this time, people.
Mm-hmm. But I know he's coming to get me.
Yes.
That's what I rest in. That's what excites me. That's what keeps me going, looking for it.
And that's why we honestly try to pray for folks.
Joey made it.
Especially ones that are riding the fence or just ain't believers, kind of thing. I pray for you that the Lord will open your eyes and release that hardened heart. But the Bible very clear. He said not all is going to make it. Many will, but not all. So does that say, or when I think that, do I think, well, I'm just not even going to pray for that individual because there ain't no hope for him? No, I'm going to pray for that individual because I have hope that the Lord will. Yeah, if he doesn't, that was his will, kind of thing. But we honestly do try to pray for folks, and that's why I'm real big in my prayers. Lord, let your will be done.
Mm-hmm.
Not what I want, not what I think should be going on, but whatever your will is, whether I understand it now or I'll understand it later on, I know that your will be done, and we gonna go with it because I trust you. That's it. Be one of the ones screaming it from a mountain. Hear me out, y'all. What's it gonna hurt? But okay, where we at? We got
You
got
got
2 minutes.
33 minutes.
Okay, we're gonna derail because I have been waiting to share this with y'all all week long.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna tell them? You tell them what the doctor said.
This is just like you up.
Then
I don't
I'll.
want to take it from you.
No, you can tell them.
have
You
it,
can tell
honey.
them. Okay.
Go for it.
All right. Let me keep on the chat. We don't derail too much. Okay.
Hey, behavior hives. He might have come in at the wrong time for a big chat.
Well, we're derailing, and I guess for just a disclaimer, I'm picking.
No, he's not. He's really not.
Okay.
He don't mean it ugly, but he's not picking it up.
Okay.
You
Karen-
didn't start from the beginning, though, about your rants about women and the driving test and voting and what all led up to this.
I forgot about that part of it. All right.
Oh, yeah.
The other morning,
Very lengthy discussion we had.
once again, we had to carry my mama back to the hearing doctor. All right. And
Like,
no, sir, they still got them bad boys. I pointed
he
at them
had a
yesterday.
Walmart trip yesterday.
I got them yesterday. But anyway, had another incident with the opposite sex and they're driving. Okay. Well, my wife got to hear that. Well, when my mama got into the car, I was still wound up about it.
But she can't have hair, so she don't know what he's going off about. She just knows he's mad as soon as she gets in the car. So I'm like halfway in the back seat trying to holler in her ear where she can hear what's going on. And she just busts out. But he has decided that women can no longer drive. And what'd you decide? Their husband and 2 male witnesses have to administer a driving test. And if she passes, then she's allowed to have a license. But if her husband won't sign off, she can't no longer drive the highway.
But you didn't put in the big part to where it doesn't make it too fussy. I said on that piece of paper as well, if the husband agrees that the woman can drive, because there are some good women drivers out there now, I give them that. There's just as much idiot men out there too. Okay. But I said, if the husband can agree that, look, she's a good driver, she don't need to do this, sign off on it, send it in. Okay, she's good to go for the next however many years. But the ones that there are some men out there that can honestly say she probably needs to retake that driver's test every year, kind of thing. And I'm up for her retaking that driver's test. Well, that's where it fell in to all that.
He's just going off on women, period. And then we get into the doctor's office and start the hearing test.
Yes, and I have figured out the science, gentlemen. I even told the doctor. Okay. I couldn't help myself, Joe. I couldn't help myself. What was that you told me that time over at Lee's? What did Joey tell me at Lee's? There was a something.
Something, I was wrong, I'm sorry, I won't do it again.
Something like
Something
that,
like that.
So, okay, we get in there. Here comes the doctor lady. She says, y'all can go in here with your mom and, while we run the test and this and that. And I was like, okay.
Mhm.
God love my wife, and I'm being just as genuine as I can. She helps out with my mama so much and keeps up with things and does appointments for mama and is a huge help. And I thought we was going to have to, make some decisions on surgery for her. So I was trying to make it a point for me to be there and to hear exactly what these doctors were saying instead of Hannah coming home and trying to tell me everything that went on. So the main reason going was, okay, if mama's got to have surgery, I want to be able to hear what's coming out of the horse's mouth right then, and we'll go from there. But thankfully, on that end, she ain't got to have surgery for her hearing. But they invited us into the little booth to where they do your hearing test. And sitting there, and as they're running the test, there's a man speaking and there's a woman speaking during the test. And if you ever had to take a hearing test, it's
Like they're trying to see the different tones she can hear and what levels they had to be at to program these hearing aids.
well, as we're going through this, I started picking up on, like, I would look at Hannah different times and she'd look at me. And I got to noticing that, like, whenever a woman spoke, Mama couldn't hear.
She didn't have a clue what they were saying.
No, not at all. But when the man's voice come through, she could about 90% repeat
what they said.
Yeah. And after a few minutes of this, I'm thinking, what in the world's going on here? Mama can't hear. I was because I could hear the woman's voice, I guess, better than I could hear the man's voice, kind of thing to me. But anyway, the doctor, she come on out. She's like, well, you did this part. Now we got to do another one. And in the midst of all that, one of us asked, kind of like, we're picking up on some stuff that she's not being able to hear the woman's voice so much as she's being able to hear the man's voice. The doctor said, what?
That you lose hearing for higher pitches first, because something about the hairs on the something or other way down in your ear that pick up the sound and tell your brain what it is. Well, those are gone for Miss Mary. So she can't hear anything above a certain pitch or tone or whatever you call it. But the only thing my husband heard and hung on to out of this whole 4-hour ordeal in this doctor's office was, when your hearing loss gets to that point, high-pitched tones can actually physically hurt your ears. And that's his justification for selective hearing when he doesn't want to listen to me about anything.
She said, a woman's voice, when your ears get like that, or to start
She
getting like
said
that.
a high-pitched voice. Aggravating men can have a squeaky little woman's voice.
They were girly men.
But yeah, that's what she said. Too loud of a high-pitched tone can be painful. But you have no documented hearing loss, darling. Correct. You're good. Yours is totally selective from your bullheadedness.
When she told me that, or she told us that.
No, but DC, I swear, I thought my eyeballs was going to get stuck in the back of my brain. I rolled my eyes so hard.
Oh, she did.
I was like, I cannot believe that doctor just gave him explanations that it don't even fit, because he don't have hearing loss.
I heard a woman's high-pitched voice is painful.
That's all he heard, and that's not even what she said. She did not say a woman's voice. She said high-pitched tones can be painful.
She pretty much
if they're too loud. I was like, let's just keep on.
So with Mama,
keep on.
My wife, and the doctor lady in there, I looked at all of them and I said, that explains it right there. I said, whenever y'all get to yeah, and those high-pitched voices, you don't.
Yeah.
Hannah honestly don't. She doesn't jive much.
But he makes me out to be this awful person to be married to 90% of the time.
No, 90% of the time she's agreeing with me. There are times she'll tell me, look, you're being a little bit too.
I was fully on board with him about the women driving thing, I will admit. Because 99.9% of the time when he gets mad at somebody on the road, it is a woman driving like an idiot. But most times it's because she's got that cell phone glued to her hand that you can see while she's driving. So yeah, I do. I'd have to agree with him on that. I wouldn't buck the government if they tried to implement that law because I feel like a whole lot of wrecks just wouldn't occur anymore.
A lot of them. But we got through it. But I finally figured out the science of wine. It hurts so bad when them high-pitched tones go to coming out. And because the frequency.
Mr. Russell Amon said I must have lost all the hairs in my ears. But yeah, if you could have seen the look on this doctor's face, because she's a lady that's not from this country, definitely not used to the little redneck bumpkin my husband is, had no idea he was being funny when he said what he said in there, and her face was just like, how do you live in this oppression kind of thing?
Well, kind of like going back to, all right, Hannah had to go for some eye tests some years ago. And that doctor lady was just.
That was painful. It really was.
She talked to Hannah.
Like I was 5.
Yeah.
Literally, like I had done my hair in little pigtails or something going in there. Oh, lady, I'm 35 years old. I'm not in kindergarten.
And it wasn't like she was putting her down or anything, but it's just, it's hard to explain. But it was just more of like, you're talking to a child and this and that. And, there was just way too much sophistication for what I was built for in that one room right there.
Yeah, so what does Tim do? He starts talking about how many fire ants he could fry with her giant magnifying glass, like Jethro Bodine turned loose in the city for the first time.
That woman turned around and looked at me and could not say a word. Was like, I told her, I said, boy, I bet you can burn a bunch of fire ants with that magnifying glass right
I'm
there.
just sitting there praying, Lord, please just let me finish this eye exam before he gets us thrown out of here. Please, because I'm tired, my head hurting trying to read.
It is, DC. I got an aunt. She's the only one left on my daddy's side. And I love my aunts. But she has a sophisticated talk about her kind of thing because she was a nurse. She worked around high profile doctors here in Mobile for literally 40 years. And she leaned more toward the higher in there, folks, and she makes sure her words are well spoken, so on and so forth. And I'm like, hey, Shirley, you was literally raised dirt floor poor, literally, and you talking like you've been a millionaire for the last 82 years that you've been living, kind of thing. But when she gets around like us and family, that tone will kind of kick down a little bit. But whenever she gets around certain friends, it turns into more of a, what's the word I'm looking for? Sophisticated talk. Look, I talk this way all the time. On this TV we're watching right now, or if you're here hanging out the house. I'm not fixing to try to make myself look pretty just to fit a class kind of thing.
The only difference in me is if you put me in a big crowd of people and I get nervous, my accent gets way worse.
She does. Her drawl sure enough comes out.
It does. Because I'm thinking more about what I'm saying than how I'm pronunciating. So, yeah, that's why most of the time I just don't talk when I first meet people, especially in a crowd. She knows how to play the game.
But I see.
Oh my gosh, DC.
We were like news, dude.
That sounds like something I would do. Well, he said the pharmacist asked if she had used these medications before, and he said, I don't know. Are they secondhand? Did we get news pills? Because we would like new instead. Yeah, I don't want no recycled medication.
This secondhand stuff, Here, Mr. Pharmacist
Oh
man.
my gosh.
But y'all don't hate me too much.
Even though in a heartbeat he would repeal women's driver's licenses.
I would put a clause in there for some, like I said. If the husband agrees that she's a good, safe driver and she pays attention, I'd sign
The
off on
only
her in a heartbeat.
problem with that is a lot of these strong, independent women, married men that are terrified of them. That would, I mean, they won't tell them, no, you don't need that donut. You really think the men's gonna snatch their driver's license from?
No, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
There are a lot of weak
mean,
spine men
seriously.
nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would pose a problem.
I'm glad I got you because you understand me.
Mhm.
There's not many women out there nowadays will be like, this dude is a womanizing, whatever, what's the other word?
I don't know how many I would say on the same before they flag me, and I ain't doing the behavior classes.
Well, whatever. There's a lot of words that they would probably call me, which I'm cool with, but I'm old soul.
I'd punch him in the nose if I heard him call him that. Because I know who he is. And he don't mean.
But if
You're right. If it saves one insurance claim, it's worth it.
that's it, Eric. There's one of them.
Oh, they'd be spitting that one, and the sexes, and the women hating, and the oppression. You're an oppressive patriarchy, whatever.
You're welcome, America.
But he's really not. I mean, y'all know him. He respects women as long as you are acting like a woman.
That's it.
He'll respect you.
Yeah. But hey, I guess that was the benefits of our parents having us at a later age because we were instilled the old ways and not to be conformative to this modern jive going on nowadays.
Yeah.
This and that. We very much believe a man has his place, a woman has her place in a relationship. We're brought together as one through God. And in that unity, we can work together on things. I can do certain stuff, she can do certain stuff, and it makes it work, kind of thing.
Because we're one.
That's it.
When we took that vow, we became one. We're not two people.
I threw a gal off one time telling her that. She said,
oh, bad.
Where was that at? Went and ate breakfast or something somewhere. And no, I think it was at that fancy place, ex-brother-in-law. We all met up that morning to eat breakfast.
Oh, at the park. Yeah, okay.
Some old gal said something, well, the both of y'all? And I was like, no, not both of us. She just kind of looked at me. I said, we're one. We're not separate. We're married. We're one. So we're not two here, kind of thing. And that little girl did not know what to say or think after that.
I don't think she'd ever heard anything like that before. Yep, we fit together pretty good.
Yep, she's just right for me. And I'm grateful for her.
I had to pull up that camera, that picture John sent me. He sent me one of them. He found a picture of me and you from Abby's wedding on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
else. Oh my gosh, we look like babies.
Oh, yeah.
Like little bitty babies. That was like 12 years ago.
Well, that's it, DC.
Well, some of them. Because yeah, we had some really, really, really good news. Our little Oliver, not little Oliver, the little turd's almost as tall as me now, but he got baptized last Sunday morning.
Yep.
And it made my heart so happy to see him get up in front of his church and make that declaration. So some of them are still being taught right. Philip, I will put you in timeout so fast it ain't even funny.
No, we're not plural. We're singular. Uno.
Mm-hmm. No, don't even bring that adjective, whatever, pronoun, not adjective. I'm out of coffee again. We don't do the pronoun nonsense around here.
Well, on that, while we just derailing, we walked next door to her daddy's not long ago, and some gal. No, we was pulling up. We was dropping some groceries off to her daddy, and some gal from Walmart was dropping an online order off for him. And we get out about the same time she does, and she didn't look up and see, but she
never seen us pull in, did she?
And when we got out, I told her, I said, don't be spooked. I said, we ain't here to hurt you because we did startle her. And she had meant to say, sir, but she said, ma'am, and then stopped herself. Then, sir. And I looked at her and I said, please don't misgender me. She just stood in shock there. Then I had to tell her, I said, no, I'm just speaking with you.
Crying. I get all emotional on her. I didn't know you did that.
But yeah, I had to tell her, I said, I promise I'll just pick it with you, kind of thing. I said,
people so sensitive about that stuff these days. Well, look, y'all, you're gonna have to suck it up a little bit.
yeah, I'm not living your delusion. So don't expect me to participate.
That's a very good question, Phil. Philip's throwing around pronouns and stuff in here.
Yep, done drove us into that.
Don't break people's brains. They're having a hard enough time as it is. That ain't no joke.
Indeed they are.
That ain't no joke. A lot of these on paper young adults need some actual mature adult supervision when they leave the house.
They would cry. If I had some of them, male or female, for one day, they would be emotionally destroyed.
Probably.
Probably the first hour.
Yeah.
Because the first 30 minutes will be like, pick yourself up off the ground, let's go. Ain't got time for that. But
Joey said, I'm from Pine, Louisiana. What's a pronoun? You ain't missing a thing, Joey. Just stay right like you are with that.
well, that's right, but Blaine.
Yeah, he's up there because all the dogs are asleep in the chairs.
Yeah, he had him a fun-filled day of going outside.
What was he gonna tell Blaine?
Now he was talking about if they wasn't wearing a mask, you're probably okay.
Yeah.
Those are the ones you got to watch out for. Definitely. Or like somebody had mentioned, like it was about the colors in nature.
Oh yeah, did y'all see that going around on social media or whatever? Try a new hair color and it all makes sense.
Well, talking about somebody made mention, and I was like, that just makes perfect sense.
How all the poisonous critters in nature are like the bright, crazy colors, the reds and orange and blue and green, and that's like their warning to tell predators, I'm dangerous, leave me alone. It's just biology coming out in some of these clowns.
Yep.
Natural warning system.
I have a tough time dealing with idiots myself here. Now, I do have fun dealing with them.
He does.
Because
too much fun.
I will take you on an emotional roller coaster of up and down the whole time until you just plumb wear out on. I'll get you fired up and be like, look, just calm down, just talk to them in a softer voice and this and that.
Yeah.
Then here we go again.
I hate everyone equally. I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't hate people. But the older I get, the shorter and shorter and shorter my dynamite fuse gets for pure stupidity. I have no patience for it anymore.
Y'all think I'm bad on
Absolutely no
that?
patience.
Like she seriously does it, kind of thing. Joey, that is when I keep my mouth shut. There are points in this marriage that I know you just better shut up right now before you.
Most of the time, I have a good reason.
You do.
When I get that mad at somebody, because I don't like going there. I really don't like being mad. But I ain't got no patience for the stupidity anymore. And even if I can keep my mouth shut, it's all over my face what I'm really thinking about you.
Yes,
Well, hey, Ricky.
there are times I know when to hush up, kind of thing. And it's every morning before she gets that first cup of coffee.
Yes, you can put
Let her get her coffee. Cranky engine, if you will. Get your mind going with your coffee. If not, it's going to be a bad day for everybody.
You like your 15 minutes to get your brain fired off before people start running their mouth at you, too.
I do, but you're way more testy when you don't have no coffee. I drove past the coffee deal not too long ago going to a job, and she's like, you're not going to stop?
No, I did not. That was not even how that conversation went.
If I'd have known that fixed me a bigger cup.
No idea. We were going downtown,
Look at that face.
Mobile. Downtown. He didn't tell me this, and he knows better.
She didn't ask.
Because I hate going downtown, and he knows that. Like, I need to prepare myself to be around that kind of people and that kind of traffic and just cluster. I don't handle it well at all. And yeah, he waits till we get like 2 miles past the coffee shop. And I was thinking we was going to this church like right up here. And he kept going, and I was like, I thought we was just going right here. Where are we going? He's like, no, we got to go downtown. And that's when I said, and you couldn't get me a coffee for that? Because I ran out of coffee 10 miles back down the highway, way before we passed the coffee shop.
As she's shaking the cup at me.
The cup was sitting in the cup holder, you drama queen.
Just to shake it.
Oh, whatever.
Put that thing back down.
I'm here for you, honey. If you need me, I'm going to be out in the yard doing anything possible.
That's it, Philip. Yeah. But I did stop on the way back. I said,
yeah, he did.
I didn't even tell her. I just whipped on in. She said, what, you going to stop and get a coffee? I said, well, I said, you wanted one. I just forgot to stop a while ago. So,
I could have used them 2 extra shots of espresso to settle my nerves before we went around all these yuppie people and climbed 82 flights of stairs trying to find an attic access in this massive building that nobody knows where they're going.
Well, I would show you a picture, but it's hard to even see on the phone. But we went and looked at doing a removal Thursday or Friday. Friday.
Yeah.
And just our luck, they were at least 40 feet up on an old time church down there in downtown Mobile. Couldn't figure out for a minute if they was bearding out heavy on the side, and we was thinking it was a huge colony, like a huge colony, because the way they was bearding out on the side in the morning. So we're walking all around the place and trying to talk to the people, and finally we figured out, okay, if we can find an attic access, we can get to this point to see if they're in the roof. Well, finally we found the attic access and literally had to get extension ladder up there to get to the attic access.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful old church, old stained glass in this thing.
If I could get the inside fixed up again, that could be a gorgeous build.
Oh, absolutely. I wish I could have took pictures. She told me when I went into the attic, she said, please take some pictures.
Take some pictures. I want to see if they're so bad.
And I love that old kind of stuff, that part of carpentry work, because them men back then, they didn't have electric tool. One, every nail was hand drove, but the way they fit, there was 12 by 12 heart pine beams up in the roof of this thing. I mean, this place was huge. And the way they put everything together and it locked in was awesome. But they done most of it with a hatchet of some kind, or a little bit of a handsaw, this and that. But you probably couldn't slit a piece of paper in between those joints where they brought stuff together in that old ceiling. But we finally figured out the bees wasn't up there, and pretty much told the guy, so look, I'll do the job, but if I have to literally rappel off the side of this building to get these bees, then it's going to be X amount of dollars for me to do it. And I said, I'm going to be real honest with you too, mister. I said, this is more of a hazard pay job than anything. I said, because I'm pretty well going to have to, for the most part, rappel just a foot or two off the side of this building to get these bees off the side. But I think we pretty well narrowed it down as it's an open air colony that had built on the side of some marble soffit work. I guess the best way to explain what it is, but it's just some old architectural work that they've done with some marble way back when. And this colony has built an open air colony right there on the side. Yeah.
I really think it is, but we're praying.
But I did tell them too in the estimate. I said, look, if they ain't open air and we got to get in and start drilling into stuff and taking them apart, well, we're going to have to add a little bit to it.
It's null and void.
Yeah. But if I can get them, here's the dollar amount. If you want us to do it, call me back. If not, then your crew just going to have to get stung by bees whenever they get over there to that part of the building to re-roof that thing.
They ain't happy about it neither. Well, Buttons, you about out of time.
Are we?
Mm-hmm.
We got 30 seconds.
Everybody going to bed.
I get it. It's getting that time. I'll probably run a lot of them off. Well, DC, looking at your videos, I got to thinking about that. Whenever you were going through the garden. But I almost commented a little bit too early, but I held off. And as you got to going through, I seen you got the garden tilled up. And I was thinking, I wonder if he's going to do flowers out there in that thing again, like he does every year. You know how pretty he makes it on that side where he does the garden.
Mm-hmm.
But he said he's going to let some of it go. But I think he's going to do flowers again down that one run that he always does.
I've been looking for that.
Mm-hmm. And whatever that big blue plant was.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, is that like a It almost looks similar to wisteria before it opens.
A little bit.
What is? It's not a wisteria.
I have no
I
idea
didn't know
what
if
that
it was
thing is.
maybe in the same family.
Yeah, the blue bush.
Mm-hmm.
But
You know what the real name of it is?
blue bush.
Really?
No.
Serious?
I'm just going by what DC calls it.
Yeah.
Oh, you could tell, buddy. They love that
Mm-hmm.
tree.
Good all in it. But that thing was beautiful.
Yes, if you can figure it out, and if they'll grow down here, buddy, I'd love to have a couple of them just to
Those
put
Joe,
alongside the house. 'Cause
they were pretty,
They-
pretty.
they did make a good foliage, I guess, but real pretty.
Well, good grief, Joe. Who in the world are y'all blocking so hard? Him and DC been back and forth about Bob and Charlie, and somebody blocked somebody.
Uh-oh.
Technical difficulties. I thought that only happened here.
Thinks they done accidentally quoted Mr. Randy.
Mm,
It happens. I push buttons too.
happens to everybody.
I got Chris just earlier in
Yeah.
the show.
I'm glad we figured that out. Oh, I thought y'all meant you blocked somebody in here. I didn't even see it. I thought only buttons blocked somebody. No,
Well, all you can do is apologize.
you're
Some
right.
of us are not technology advanced as others. I'll put myself on the top tier of that list.
We'll be there together, honey.
Yep.
Eric must have been needing some rain.
Yeah. Well, I guess Philip too, because it's singular.
Yeah, his ain't looking good.
Well, I think it was
The
during.
Fisher Mark got when he came in. He said he wasn't gonna have hardly no kind of honey pool at all. It was so dry up there. Said it didn't have nothing coming in.
What was it? I think it was last night on Joey's chat, and there Philip was saying that, he believes that they've been in such a drought that he's
Mm,
thinking that the bees are snacking on the brood
yeah.
to get some kind of nourishment, if you will, since they ain't had really no kind of rain at all. Ain't none of us down here in the south had no kind of good rain.
We got 8 inches in 5 days, but it don't do much when that's the only rain you've had all season. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't near enough to get us out of this drought. I hope we get another round of it right before the tallow opens up.
Now I don't know about y'all in the North Country, but for the ones of you below the Mason-Dixon, we'll say, especially along the coast, I remember when I was little, all right, that you could almost time it every day.
Storm.
Yeah, you'd have a thunderstorm come in between 3 and 5 o'clock, it seemed like.
Every day.
Like,
Last 30, 45 minutes, blow on through.
she gone.
But it'd be every day.
Now,
Oh, hey, Jay.
it don't even hardly rain like that anymore around here. It's like you'll get a line of storms come in and push through, and that's what you get for a few days. But for whatever reason,
Yeah, Clay. He said they're about 12.5 inches low on rain. You too, Blaine. Hope you can get some rest.
yes, we just take care of yourself.
We're still praying for that baby.
Our blackberry didn't do too good here, or the dewberry, more or less. They bloom, but far as actually getting the yield off of them,
Yeah.
they didn't do much of all on the yield.
I was looking for them too. I was ready for some blackberries. Blueberries are doing good around here though. Everybody's blueberry bushes get loaded to the gills.
I will say, when we lived in our first place, we had went to Walmart's surprising. And they had thorned black raspberries.
Mm-hmm.
And these things, when they started putting off, that berry literally wasn't no bigger than a dewberry.
But it was so sweet. Oh my gosh, them things were good.
Yes, I wish we tried to bring some. Well, we brought what we had and tried to transplant them here, but none of them ended up making it. And I've yet to see that same black raspberry in Walmart.
Find them anywhere. We've even looked at nurseries and stuff. We looked at Lowe's and Home Depot. We haven't found them anywhere. I found them online. Remember one website, I don't remember what it was, but that was like $35 for one plant.
Oh.
Plus 20 something dollars shipping or something. It was gonna be close to $70 for us to get
That's crazy.
to that's what you told me, so I didn't order.
I tell you, DC, them things, that little raspberry was showing up kind of good. If I didn't know what they were, I'd have swore they was some kind of dewberry.
Mm-hmm.
Because they put off, they made a red berry, just like the blackberry dewberry does.
But it didn't turn quite as black. It just turned like a deep purplish color. It didn't turn like dark, like a wild blackberry or whatever.
But it was thorned, just like I guess a blackberry. It wasn't so much. It grew like a vine, but it was more like a tree. I guess best way to explain them. But
I don't know, but they were good.
that was some
Yeah,
of the
you're
best.
right. They see them the big old blackberries, like the true blackberries that grow down here. A lot of people just use them like for making jams and cobblers and stuff. Something that you're gonna add a lot of sugar to, and you save the little ones for eating out the bucket.
Yeah, them big old blackberries, that's the one you want for your cobblers, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a little tart to it.
That's what you want.
Yeah, little old dewberry, that's for snacking and jellies.
Mm-hmm.
Watch out for the rattlesnakes, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, buttons, I'm sorry. I gotta get up. I can't see it. And you gonna finally come say hey?
You want to holler at everybody before we go?
You've been sleeping the whole time, Jake.
He ain't got nothing to
The
say.
whole time.
He's still upset about the complaint
Nobody
box.
sent him any emails this week.
Y'all just do
They were
Jasper a favor.
undue. Oh my goodness. Oh,
Yeah, y'all do Jasper a favor. Send in a false flag, email, something.
make that baby feel like
Yeah.
he's got a job to do.
Any kind of complaint you could come up with me, send it to him. And I think he'll start showing his face again a little bit more. But he's been pretty upset about the lack of complaints in the
He
last few
feels
months.
left out.
Or y'all give me a subject and we'll go on and I'll fire some folks up. Whatever y'all want. This is y'all's show too. You know what I'm saying? But all right, y'all. I guess we'll go ahead and wrap her up. All kidding aside, y'all keep the folks on the prayer list in your prayers. I know y'all do, but there's many folks out there that in need of prayer right now. And yes, in many ways. But until then, God bless you. Lord willing, we'll see y'all on the next one. Y'all take care of yourself. We'll holler at you.
Well, guess that's it for today. See you next time at Gunline Bees.